QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022 OneNote Presentation Employee Center. Let's get into it with Intuit's QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022. Here we are in OneNote. If you would like to follow along, icon left-hand side, topic introduction, 1500 Employee Center. Also note when using OneNote, take a look at the immersive reader tool, topic introductions, also in the text area with the same name, same number, but with transcripts that can be translated into multiple different languages and either listened to or read in them. Same name and number also found in presentations. Topic introductions designed to give an introduction to the topic, provide screenshots, links when applicable, as well as some accounting background that can supplement the information we'll go into within QuickBooks. The screenshots being something you could follow along with the presentations if you don't have access to QuickBooks at that time. Closing icon left-hand side, Employee Center. In prior presentations, we've been focusing in on the flows. This time we're looking at the employees area, payroll cycle, payroll flow that we looked at in prior presentations. We're now going to go to the Employee Center, which can be found here. Click in that item or in the drop-down, first item, Employee Center. We have a similar layout that we have seen for the Vendor Center, the Customer Center, except these being the employees. If you go into the employees on the left, you're going to have the information on the right, typically that information being paychecks, given the fact that these are the employees. If we were to add the employees, you'd see information such as this, similar to vendors, similar to customers, but with one key difference in that you need a lot of this information to process the employees for payroll, because it's a requirement, especially when you go down to the payroll information, that being a distinct tab for the employee versus a vendor or a customer, where you got to set up your payroll process. This being helped out to set up in part by your payroll setup, which you will typically do when you add the payroll into the system. If we go back to the Employee Center, going from the Employees tab to the Transaction tab, we got the payroll, liability checks, liability adjustments, year-to-date adjustments. Typically, we'll be looking here at the paychecks, breaking that paycheck information out on the right-hand side. If you go to the Payroll tab in the Employee Center, this is where you could go to process, in essence, the payroll. You got the pay employees, pay liabilities, and file forms. That's the typical process for the payroll, paying employees whenever the pay period ends, bi-weekly, weekly, semi-monthly, monthly. And then we got to pay the liabilities after we process the payroll to the government that we withheld and our payroll liabilities. Then we file the forms on a quarterly basis, 941 forms, 940 at the end of the year, 941s quarterly, and then the W-2s, W-3, and so on at the end of the year. The QuickBooks can help you with that process. Back to the pay liabilities section, the major area that you'll be taking a look at when you process the actual payroll. Main place you'll be at. Here's a look once again at the file forms area, which will be used to help you to populate those forms, those quarterly 941s, the year-end 940, the year-end W-2 and W-3s.